Hi guys, it's France Papillon. Welcome to this journal on Monday, week 113. I'm working in my altered book and I'm starting with some Finnavar Art Basics White Heavy Gesso. I'm starting from the center from the page and then pulling it up and down to the edges. I already placed some masking tape on the center of my book to avoid heavy liquids going all over. And once the first layer of gesso is dried, I'm applying a second one, again starting from the middle and then pulling it out, but I'm leaving a very thick layer of gesso. I'm really taking advantage of the fact that it's heavy gesso this time. Then taking this scraper that has been laying next to me for like forever and I never used it, today I thought I wanted to have fun with it. So I'm just scraping lines in the gesso, and I like to keep it very simple and very straight. You could draw flowers or whatever in your gesso. I just want to have lines. Once it's halfway dried, I'm doing it again because I want to have some irregularities in my lines. So having the gesso already half dried will make it it will stick together when I'm pulling it to make the lines. Now it is no, it's not completely dried. I'm lying. I didn't have the patience for it to dry because it's very thick. So I thought that I was already going to do something on the edges of my spread, and I'm using Color Art Silks, which is an acrylic glazing, but I'm applying it with a blending tool to have something very soft. Just like you would with distress ink, but I have more color despite the distress, the gesso that's underneath. As I said on my blog, I'm a bit stuck in a certain color scheme, and I'm okay with that. I can enjoy that color scheme for a certain time until I get fed up with it, and then I can move on to something else. But I did ask the question on my website, how do you deal with that when you're stuck in such a certain particular color scheme? How do you handle that? If you hop over to my blog to answer the question, and you will find a link to it. Well, it's actually a blog on my website. That's why I keep saying blog and website. You will find a link in the description of this video. So if you check it out and answer that question that I was asking, you will also find the complete list of ingredients. So if you would like to know which colors it is that I'm using to create this rusty brown edge on my spread, that's where you can find it. And as you can see, I'm going from a light to a darker color, and I think that this last one is black actually. I did leave a lot of fingerprints on my gesso because it wasn't dry, but that's okay. Oh no, this one is the black one. I wasn't there yet. Once I'm done with my colors, I'm going in with a baby white because I really want the texture of the gesso to come through. And because of the porosity of the paper, I will have a different reaction where there is gesso and where there's not. This is again the black one, Black Ice Color Art Silks. And I'm applying it using a baby wipe to keep it really soft because this is black and I don't want to turn my white gesso completely black. Quickly heat setting it, but it dries pretty fast because it's a very thin layer. And now I can go in with what I'm stuck in as color. And this time I'm using a purple red. So I'm spraying water to make it move inside the ridges that I created in the gesso. This is another color so that I can create a bit of a gradient. Now I'm going back in with a baby wipe to soften the edges so that the purple going into the brown isn't a harsh separation. And then I'm going back in with the different shades of brown that I used to create the edge. Just to blend everything softly and nicely together. And I really had fun creating this journaling spread. I had quite some time to do it, and it's when you have the most time that you work the quickest very often. So this journal spread was done in a little less than an hour, despite the drying time. And I really, really enjoyed it. So I kept on going until I was happy with the result, just because I liked what I was doing. Now that I've added some more black around the edges, I also want to re-accentuate the black on top of the color. So very lightly with my finger, I'm adding some more. And it might look very harsh, but I know that I will go back in with a baby wipe to soften everything down and to blend everything together. Those are acrylics, so they won't completely contaminate each other. But as there is gesso underneath, I can still play around with it as it's not completely heat setted yet. So going back in with the baby wipe and softening everything down a bit more before I add the embellishments that I want to add. And I decided to add some more white gesso very, very lightly on top of everything. I'm brushing it really lightly, not pushing it in. So I'm going for my favorites, some plaster and some cambric. And I'm colorizing everything. I'm spraying just some water on the cambric, and then I'm using the Color Art Radiant Rain. I've used a lot of ink sprays in my artsy life, but I have to say that these Radiant Rains are, yes, they're my favorite. I can say it. And then I'm also adding some touches of the autumn leaf silk here and there, just to accentuate the rusty feeling of it. And as you can see, I'm also playing with the water to keep the edges very soft and blended. And now I can dry it. I really like the vintage tattered look that you can create with the cambric and the plaster. And that's what I really was going for. So I'm really taking the edges apart to make it look very old and distressed. And then I can assemble everything so that I can sew it together. And first I'm making a little strip of leftover cardstock. Which will help me getting everything to my sewing machine. And to glue the plaster, I'm just using soft matte gel from Finnavar. So I ran everything through my sewing machine. And now I can put it on my spread. By the way, if you want to run plaster strip through your sewing machine, please know that it will require some maintenance because it makes a lot of dust and it falls everywhere in the machine. So I chose to sacrifice my sewing machine to my art. Wow, what a statement. The wording that I've added is from 7 Dot Studio, and now I'm just placing a safety pin through the fabric and plaster that I've been sewing together to enhance the rusted feeling again. And this is a Finnavar mechanical that I've rusted, of course. And again, gluing everything down using the soft matte gel. If you're hesitant as to what glue to invest in, I would say go for a soft matte gel because it's really a glue that you can use to glue down everything. And the heavy gesso is very handy to use as a weight to make sure everything will stick in place. This is a home rusted washer, and inside I'm going to glue a tiny little heart. And I know a lot of you would like to know how I make these, but that's my secret garden. I'm not ready to share that yet. One day I might. And to make it pop a bit more, I'm adding some glimmer glaze. Adding my date stamp, and that was not a smart move because I decided to go back in with black splatters first, which I'm doing with the Color Art Silks again. And after that, I'm going back in with a baby wipe to soften everything down again. And the ink from my date stamp wasn't dry yet. So you'll see in the photos at the end that I glue a little tag over it. So that's the baby wipe. And that's the final step. So I hope you liked today's video. If so, please let me know by hitting the like button. Please subscribe to my channel, it's very much appreciated. And I wish you all a very happy week, and I see you back next time. Ta-da!